Dear Tauruses, Taurus risings, my dear fellow zodiac signs, welcome. We are together for the monthly horoscope for July. I can say July is a month where life turns up the volume a bit. It's a month where we want answers to things we've been waiting for, and our desire to many things about ourselves will increase. Now, I can say that July is more of a communication month for you because the Mercury retrograde will be ongoing. For one thing, we start the month with the Sun in Cancer, and there may be an agenda regarding meetings, communication, your close circles, siblings, and cousins. Let me say this first. These areas are active, but since Mercury is almost in retrograde until the end of the month, you shouldn't believe everything you hear until July 20th. There is information pollution here. There could be a situation involving incorrect documents. There could be a situation involving this. You will check the documents. You will confirm the conversations. You will check the incoming messages. I mean, you shouldn't skip any of these. You're being given incorrect information here, and with that information, you could do very different wrong things. You need to be careful about this. For one, Mercury retrograde is in your area of communication, and you need to pay extra attention to what you say in this regard. Every word you speak can be taken in completely different directions. Very different things can happen. Likewise, a sentence coming from your sibling or close circle can also create more sensitivity for you. Therefore, it is necessary to be careful here. On the other hand, Mars is the sign of Taurus and is moving through your second house. It has an effect that increases your desire to earn money, but it also has an effect that increases your spending. And there will be a conjunction with Uranus, with an expense, a sudden payment, money going out through a vehicle, education, or a commercial matter might happen in your life. At the same time, an unexpected source of income may open up. So this period has an effect that both surprises and awakens you regarding money. That is why it's good to be cautious about money, or rather, your financials is changing. I mean, old expenses, old habits, and the old understanding of security are no longer working for you in the same way. Uranus now wants different things from you. It wants a new idea. It wants a new job. The video stopped for a moment, so I am continuing again. It means life wants a new source of income from you. It wants you to create an income. It may come with different ideas regarding that income. This could be something that suddenly comes to your mind, and it wants you to say, okay, I'm going to do this job. And there is a harsh angle now. Around July 6th, your morale might drop a bit regarding your close circle, siblings, and relatives. A conversation might become heavy. Someone's attitude might tire you out a little. And it's also necessary to know that you don't have to conclude everything. In any case, the new moon will take place in Cancer on July 14, opening a new page in your third house. What is your third house? It's a new page period regarding communication, family, education, social media, short trips, and travels. But of course, because it's a Mercury retrograde, it can start a half-finished topic from a completely different door. Things that were closed in the past, but not fully closed, meaning things that had to be left unfinished due to some conditions in the past. If you left things unfinished back then because your timing wasn't right, you didn't have the money, or your mood wasn't right, it can now bring them to the forefront. Here, you need to pay attention to your conversations, but you definitely shouldn't stop communicating. This is very important. Look, if you need to set boundaries with someone, you must do it. If you need to say no to someone's request, you should say it, but you have to say it in a way that is truly constructive. I mean, Taurus signs are like this. They bottle things up and then pile them up. At first, they try to do everything just so they don't hurt anyone. Then suddenly they wonder, what am I doing? They have a sudden outburst asking, why am I doing these things? That's why it is very important to do these things in a timely manner. On July 9, Venus will move into Virgo, and since it is your ruling planet and it's moving into your house of love, a very sweet period will begin for you. Love, pleasure, matters related to children, these areas and news regarding children may become much brighter. I can say this much for certain. You might get news about a child or having a child. Maybe it could be about your child's success, their school life, or their marriage. You may hear beautiful things about them. If there is no one in your life, dear life, as of July 9, the doors of love are opening for you. But this door of love is not about some emotionally flighty romance. You may come together with people who can truly support you, adapt to your lifestyle. And make your life more systematic and organized. You may be drawn to them. I am trying to say that you might be influenced by them or find them appealing. Around July 10, there is a beautiful healing process. You may feel much more beautiful, much more valuable, and much more lovable. If there has been an issue for a long time that has damaged your self-confidence, meaning questions about yourself like, can I do this? Can I succeed? Perhaps issues you experienced in the past have discouraged you and you just can't seem to adapt to what you want to do. I mean, you want to start something, not necessarily something you started before, but things people said to you in the past. Like, how will you ever do that? How will you handle that? Or attitudes where they hurt you by saying things like, those aren't easy tasks, or you won't understand, you can't do it. This could be family, a spouse, a partner, or a friend. If there are effects created by people who subtly manipulate you to the point where you wonder, could they have meant it different? Yeah, and that's if you have such subconscious traumatic situations, you may experience a healing around July 10. Even a tiny event can heal you. I can state this clearly. Even a single sentence in a movie can heal you. Just know that you are open to healing and recovery. There's such a beautiful influence. Open yourself up as well. Between July 10th and 13th, you want to enjoy love, be seen and be creative, but you need to be a little careful. Your circle of friends, future plans, and financial matters are getting involved. Here on July 13th, a sudden development in love, an unexpected message or an unforeseen event regarding children may come to your agenda. Managing this in a controlled way is important. Towards the last week of the month, a second major act begins here, and the focus for you becomes a bit more about your home, family, household, roots, the place you live, and where you belong. There's an influence that will increase your inner peace. Opportunities may arise where you will feel better, take a breath, and breathe a sigh of relief. And the full moon will also be taking place in Aquarius at the end of the month. And you are one of the signs most affected by this full moon because it happens at your very peak point. What is our peak point? It is our career. It is our social visibility. It is how people see us. It is our achievements. It is actually our status here. I mean, it's the title part that comes before our name. I expect a completion here. So if you are expecting a promotion, you will get that promotion. If you are waiting for news about your job, you may receive it. Since the Mercury retrograde will also be over, things will start to fall into place. A bit more, it will accelerate. Maybe you were waiting for some news about work that will come. You were waiting for a promotion that will come. You were waiting for a raise that will come. You were going to have a talk with your boss. That will happen. Or perhaps an important conversation you were going to have with someone you respect, like your mother or father. You were waiting for some news. News about these may also arrive. And most importantly, since I said it is our title field, for example, if you want to get married, we may hear an engagement announcement from you, dear Tauruses. Asking for someone's hand, betrothal, engagement, or marriage. We can receive news of these, or perhaps you want to get a divorce. We may hear news of that as well. So you can think of it as the completion of a matter you have been waiting for. Afterward, now there is this side here. There is this back and forth situation between home/family and career. Now, when you devote time to your career, you might be leaving the home and family side a bit behind. When you devote time to your home, you might feel that you are not spending enough time on your career, that is, on your work, and that you cannot fully manifest what you want to do. It is important to find a balance here. I mean, on July 27th specifically, there could be a power struggle here on the career and family line. It is necessary to be careful here. So you might feel stuck under those pressures, wondering where to catch up and what to do. Some people may try to exert control over you. If you are not working, this could also be someone you respect or one of your elders in the family. You might see that they have a pressure or an expectation regarding you. While you are saying to yourself, how should I behave? What should I do? I feel the pressure. You are actually learning to protect your own space. This is very important. We go through certain events and learn what we need to do. Some events are actually for these. We go through things, and the things we experience give us experiences regarding how we should behave, how we should protect our boundaries, and how we should react to events. You can think of this time as such a period. At the end of July, Saturn begins its retrograde. Saturn is already not in an easy area. In the 12th house, where your repressed emotions, traumas, fears, dreams, intuitions, and the things you ignore reside. Saturn is transiting there. Saturn is not an easy planet. And here it will be that no matter how strong you are on the outside, you cannot get yourself to where you want to be with that accumulation inside. First of all, this retrograde lasts until the end. Let me state this clearly. And this retrograde is so important that it wants to show you whatever it is that you block yourself with, sabotage yourself with, and whatever prevents your own progress. It is not an easy process. Let me state this clearly. Because the things that come before you are actually fears, anxieties, traumas, fear of losing, perhaps a grudge, perhaps anger, perhaps a trust issue that you ignored or neglected, but that holds an important place in your life. Adharara. But it is trying to show you that it is not quite possible to live the life you want without completing these. These areas need to be completed now. Perhaps by forgiving, perhaps by accepting, perhaps by cutting ties, but in some way these areas need to be organized now. You will organize your subconscious so that you can get rid of those burdens. I always say here, because psychological things do not appear as heavy loads in kilograms. You might carry 1 kilo, 2 kilos, but after an hour, your hand starts to ache. 2 hours later, and then after 3 hours, you start to lose feeling in your arm. Nah. Those things we load onto ourselves spiritually actually affect us a great deal. We need to see them. Saturn's retrograde will show us these. It will show us the points where we hold ourselves back perhaps without even realizing it as eight, so that we can move to a much better version of ourselves. Here, the month of July. Still, there is a very beautiful energy at the end of the month. Let me state this clearly as well. There is also a time frame at the end of the month where you can feel much better, where you will think that you are much more grounded, where you can say, oh, I am where I belong, I am living, I feel at peace, I feel safe. So for that, it would be important to do what needs to be done during the Mercury retrograde, leave behind what needs to be left behind, and try to make sense of what comes before you and move forward based on that. In other words, July brings a strong movement for you between news, money, home, and career. It is trying to show that security is not just money, and that security sometimes means living in the right house, living with the right people, and being in the place where you belong. In other words, the effort you put in should not consume you. You will see this month. And a process is beginning that will bring before you, one by one, everything in your subconscious that has been tiring you, that you haven't seen, but that has always remained a burden for you. A powerful month is starting for us to prepare ourselves for our best version. It won't be easy, but I can say it's a very transformative, very beautiful month for us. Thank you for listening to me. See you in the next video. Goodbye.